Hey there, Eli coming at you again from OSA Coventry here in front of the coral tables today. And today is a really exciting day for me because we just got in a whole bunch of coral colonies. Since I started here, it has been quite some time since we have gotten in some larger coral colonies. But today is the day that we got a couple boxes of those in addition to some saltwater fish and inverts and some freshwater livestock as well. So feel free to join while I unbox all this stuff, get it acclimated, and we'll check out what we got. All right, now that I have the first box opened, it's ready to start dripping. So I'm gonna do a long drip acclimation on these guys. They did come from ocean waters, so that waters in these tanks are gonna be a little bit different than we are used to. But I'm just going to set up a real long, slow drip acclimation on these guys with a piece of airline. As always, just like when we did our invertebrates or when we do our fish, I'm gonna add something to the water that detoxifies ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate, because I'm not really certain how long these were in those bags. And this is just gonna make sure that there's no toxic ammonia in this water as they acclimate and kind of trying to alleviate that stress on these corals so that they transition a little bit easier. And one of the nice things about this coral system is that it is set up with an auto top-off system. So I, for the time being, just moved the auto top-off pump into a reservoir that's full of salt water. So as I drain some water from this tank to get those corals acclimated, I don't have to worry about salinity fluctuations. As salt water is coming right back out, new salt water should be getting placed back in, so I don't have to worry about running that pump dry or worry about fluctuating the salinity in this system. So now that I have all these corals unboxed, I'm just gonna kind of organize a little bit so I'm not risking stinging other corals. We got a couple elegance corals, bubble corals, torch corals. So I just wanna make sure everything plays nice in these acclimation bins. And there's also a little bit different of a water level between the two. So I'm gonna make sure everything that is taller is getting enough water to acclimate it. So now that all these corals are getting the time to acclimate, I'm gonna give them at least an hour or so just to come to terms with the new salinity, new alkalinity, and other parameters that this water probably differs from theirs. But in the meantime, let's go take a look at all the new saltwater fish. They have already acclimated, but there's a little bit of some intricacies involved in putting them away. So without further ado, let's go take a look at that. So with this order, we did get a couple of boxes of saltwater fish as well, and these guys are all done drip acclimating. It's worth note in our fish system here, we run our salinity pretty low, about 1.018, whereas your natural seawater is probably between 0.25 and 0.27. We run it pretty low back here because it is a therapeutic for a few diseases, and it's actually a little less stressful on the new livestock to have them in a lower salinity, although it is not really like their wild environment. So these guys had to drip for quite a while to come to that same salinity, and it also helps when the fish have been bagged for a while to mitigate any pH losses. So the pH in the bags naturally is going to drop while they are bagged, and the second that you pop those boxes, that makes any ammonia in the water a little bit more toxic because of the pH swing. So after we get these in the bin, we use that Aquavitro Alpha or Fritz ACCR just to make sure that ammonia is being detoxified. And then we allow them the while to drip to correct for those salinity differences and correct for the pH differences before they hit the system. One of the things that makes putting the saltwater fish away a little bit more difficult is that, as a lot of us saltwater tank keepers understand, most of your fish are going to be very territorial, and a lot of your fish are pretty aggressive with each other. So we just have to be very careful in making sure that our tanks are being matched to the new animals, that we're not placing anything in a tank that is going to disagree with another animal, and doing our best to make sure that everything is having a peaceful and stress-free introduction to our tanks. So I hope you all enjoyed getting to watch us put away some of the new stuff and kind of enjoyed seeing that sneak peek of how we get things done here. We really do our best to make sure that everything is having the least stressful interaction into these brand new aquariums for them. And we're gonna try our best to make sure that they are nice, happy, and healthy for you guys over the next few days. On Friday, we're going to plan to kind of give an overview of a lot of the animals that we got in, both saltwater fish and corals. So I hope you enjoy to see them then, and if there's anything that you are looking for, feel free to tune in then to see what we did get in. As always, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to leave comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section below. And as always, keep on reefing.